Hi there, this is Sherry Arns with the Christian Working Woman, and today we're talking about loving those who seem unlovable. It's a topic that really matters to us as Christ followers. I used to read a book to my three boys called The Unhuggables, The Truth About Snakes, Slugs, Skunks, Spiders, and all of those other animals that are hard to love by Victor Waldrop. Now, my boys loved to learn about these uniqueness of these creatures. And more we read about them, the more that we understood why God had created them and the purpose that he had for them. And after a while, they didn't seem so bad. They still were ugly, but they had the same time, they were fascinating. I wish I could say the same about some of the people in my life. But the more that I get to know them, the more fascinating that they become. But if I'm honest, a few people in my life just seem unlovable, and I can't get rid of them. Learning to love the unlovable is a lesson that I seem to keep learning over and over again. I've not mastered it by any means, but it all comes down to a perspective. I believe that God has made all creation, and even down to the unhuggable ones, there is a purpose and a plan for each creature. So really, none of us are unlovable. We just have people that don't do the things the way that we think they should. You see the perspective shift? Now, I know that we all have examples of people who choose not to change or just love being that unhuggable person, but this is what I have learned. You can only change yourself. I know I tend to roll my eyes too when people say that, but it's the truth. We only have control over what we think and how we act. We can allow people to fuel our frustration, or we can grow to be more like Christ. After all, God loves each of us, even in our flawed states. We were all on the road to sanctification. God is so patient with us, and we need to be patient as well, even on our best days. I remain on my knees in prayer because I need his perspective, his wisdom, and his strength. In my home, I have a prayer closet, and when I enter it, I cry out to God with all of my emotions. He is kind to listen, and he helps me sort through them all. And then he reminds me of who he is and all that he's done for me. He reminds me that my end goal is to please him in all that I do and say. And I usually leave with a new perspective. Now, before you think I am some super righteous person, I will let you in on a little secret. Some of my prayers have been, Lord, take this person out of my life, or take me home, this is too hard. I think the Lord is saddened over my pleas to get rid of these unhuggables in my life. Although he does understand the difficult people. He had them in his life. People who wanted him dead, called him too good or not good enough. But Jesus also had an eternal perspective. He knew that he had a job to do and nothing was going to get in his way of obedience. And I guess I have come to that same conclusion. As hard as it is to keep this perspective, I run to my closet often to be reminded that God loves us all, and my job is to shine that love to all of those around me. So today, when we encounter that unlovable person in our lives, let's shift our perspective together and seek to carry Christ's love.